Ambassador Stelzer, thank you for being here today to speak with us. What do you think the UN can do to address the collective action problems and difficulty of enforcing commitments resulting from UN conferences like Rio+20?
Well, compliance with commitments is one of the biggest issues in the United Nations. And the question is, how do we inspire our partners to really comply? How do they anchor those results in a national legislation and make sure that they don't become dead wood, but they're implemented? Accountability. How do we hold them accountable to their promises? Civil society have to do that. This is why a stakeholder approach, mobilizing civil society, the academia, enterprises, business, the markets, bring them together from the beginning, identifying a global problem as a challenge, then designing a cooperative, comprehensive solution, building ownership in this process so that each of the stakeholders has something at stake in the implementation.
What can you say problems are that need to be confronted by the post-2015 Strategic Development Goals that will replace the Millennium Development Goals?
The Secretary General's report, prepared by the task team on post-2015 and issued last May before Rio+20, pretty well defines the parameters for future SDGs. What they have to address, from simplicity to complexity. Very complex, simplistic social development goals, which the MDGs were, to much more complex, more comprehensive goals of the SDGs, which will include climate change issues, will address not only developing countries, call them for action, while the action being financed by the North, but addressing the whole community of states. Division of labor, questions of equity, financing, making available technology, access. These are very complex issues. Especially the equity and justice issues are very complex, and we're working on them.
Do you think the switch to cheaper natural gas and the global natural gas glut will lead us to the goals of decarbonization, or is it a side path away from that goal?
Of all the fossil fuels, natural gas is maybe the least polluting one, but it's still polluting. So the question is not, which does the least damage, but the question has to be, how do we achieve the transfer from a fossil fuel-based to a low-carbon economy? Political decisions. Feed-in tariffs, which can work wonders, are political decisions. Same with subsidies. Where do I direct subsidies to? So the politicians are challenged to come up with a global framework within which market forces and business cases will unfold, where investors will be given clarity on future development so they can count on certain returns for their investments. Stability. But in the end, I think it will be a combination of a negotiated global framework and business cases, pragmatic business cases, which will determine investment into future energy resources.